As trophy hunters, we're obsessed with the Platinum Trophy. That little badge at the end of a game somehow feels like proof that the experience mattered. And honestly, I've been guilty of it too. If a game didn't have a Platinum, there was no chance I was playing it. But after spending basically all of 2025 grinding my way to get to 100 Platinums, and then starting this year by trying to boost my completion percentage by clearing my backlog, I'd hit a wall. I was starting to get a little burnt out. I'd scroll through the library for ages, not knowing what to play, constantly looking for the next Platinum, playing for 20 minutes, half an hour, and not feeling like it was worth it. That's when I came across a video from the Plat Vault. If you haven't checked this channel out, I'll pop a link down in the description, and it pushed me to go back and revisit some games in my catalogue that don't have Platinum trophies at all. And honestly, it was a nice palate cleanser, a refresher, and got my gaming itch back. Most of these games are shorter experiences, a lot of them are indie titles, and it reminded me that sometimes the best games on PlayStation aren't the ones with the hardest trophy list. They're ones that can stick with you after the credits roll. So today, here are 5 amazing PlayStation games with no Platinum trophy that every trophy hunter should still try out. Q is one of those indie games that completely caught me off guard. At first glance, it looks simple. It's a little platformer with a nice clean art style, but the core mechanic is actually pretty clever. You play as Hugh, a young boy that's searching for his mother, and throughout the game, you unlock different colours on a wheel. That lets you change the background of the world around you. Here's the twist though, anything that matches the background colour disappears. So if there's a red obstacle blocking your path, you just need to switch to the red and it suddenly vanishes. Simple idea, but the game gets surprisingly smart with it. What starts off as basic puzzles quickly turns into fast reactions, platforming, moving objects, and moments where your brain genuinely starts melting. But what really surprised me was the atmosphere. The soundtrack is amazing. The narration from Hugh's mother gives that game a emotional edge to it the whole way through. And by the end of it, I was more invested than I thought I was going to be. And for the trophy hunter out there, it is a really satisfying completion. Most trophies unlock naturally while playing, and there's a few collectible related ones that never feel too overwhelming. It's one of those perfect spend a weekend playing it type of games where you can sit down for a few hours, walk away, and then come back, pick it up right where you left off. And it's mad that obviously a game that's based around color actually has the ability and accessibility for colorblind people, which in this type of game is a no-brainer, but it's just something I never thought of. If you've never played Q before, don't let the lack of a Platinum stop you, because this is exactly the type of game and hidden gem that us trophy hunters overlook all the time. Next up is Pedestrian, and this might honestly be one of the most creative puzzle games I've played in a while. Now, I have already completed this and got the 100% because in my 30 Platinums in 30 days challenge, I played it not realizing there wasn't a Platinum. I followed a guide that was wrong, and I didn't actually look at the trophy list until it was over. The entire game takes place inside street signs. You control this little stick figure character moving between the signs, going up ladders, opening doors, finding new pathways, while also rearranging the signs themselves to create the solutions to get you through. It's a simple concept, but it's executed brilliantly. The puzzles gradually evolve from basic movement challenges into these really satisfying logic problems, including electricity, moving platforms, switches, timing mechanics, and the best part, the game never overstays its welcome. Sometimes a tight 2 to 3 hour experience is just what you need, and Pedestrian absolutely hits that sweet spot. It's relaxing, it's completely unique visually, and it's a really chilled out atmosphere thanks to the nice chilled out soundtrack and the environmental design. Trophies are so straightforward. You'll naturally unlock almost everything just by progressing through the game, meaning you can focus on enjoying the experience rather than having to use and check a guide every 5 minutes. Like I say, I did this incorrectly in my 30 Platinums in 30 days, and I always remember it being a nice, chilled out, relaxing after trying to grind time-restricted games. And also reminding me that completion hunting can still feel fun when the game itself is designed around creativity rather than the repetition of collectibles. Now, if you're looking for something a little closer to a AAA experience, then Hitman absolutely deserves a place on this list. And yes, somehow this game still doesn't have a Platinum trophy, which to me feels like a massive L. Hitman 2016 was the start of the World of Assassination trilogy, and it completely perfected the sandbox come stealth formula. Every level feels like a giant puzzle. You've dropped into this massive location filled with NPCs, disguises, hidden routes, different opportunities, and the game basically says, all right, you figure it out. And that freedom is what makes it so addictive. There are so many different ways in which you can tackle a challenge. You can play everything perfectly stealthy like a silent assassin, or you can do something completely ridiculous like putting someone in a fighter jet and setting off the ejector seat. Half the fun of this game is the experimentation. And from a trophy perspective, it's kind of cool, because the challenges actually encourage creativity instead of mindless grinding. You're constantly trying weird assassinations, exploring hidden areas, testing different disguises, or triggering weird and wacky events just to see what happens. That's what makes the replayability so good. I think a lot of trophy hunters can relate to the feeling where a checklist starts becoming a chore after a while. Hitman somehow avoids that. Even when you're replaying levels, it still feels fun because the sandbox itself is entertaining. And honestly, if you're someone who enjoys 100% completion, challenge runs, or experimenting with different mechanics in the game, then this game will absolutely suck you in for hours. Next up is What Remains of Edith Finch. And this game is genuinely stayed in my head since I played it. Yes, the PS5 version does have a platinum, but I'm talking about the game that was out for the longest time, which was the PS4 version, which is only a 100%. So it kind of is should on the list, shouldn't be on the list, but I'm going with it just because I love the game so much. Now, if you've somehow avoided spoilers all these years from the game, stay away from this one. I would urge you to go and play it and experience it first. All I will say is it will be worth your time. All you need to know is that Edith Finch is a final surviving member of the Finch family, returning to her old family home to uncover what happened to everyone before her. But this just isn't a walking simulator, which is what I thought it was originally. Every family member's story is told through a completely different gameplay style and perspective, and some of them are genuinely unforgettable. And what makes Edith Finch special is that it understands something a lot of games don't. Gameplay doesn't always need to be difficult to be impactful. This game is emotional, like really emotional. It's about family, grief, escapism, and the stories people leave behind after they're gone. And despite the heavy themes, it never feels miserable. There's this strange warmth to it the whole time. From a trophy standpoint, it's also incredibly approachable. Most of the trophies revolve around interacting with the environment or experiencing specific moments naturally. So the game never pulls you out of the story so that you can grind a random trophy. You can comfortably finish this game and clean up the trophies in, I want to say, about 3-4 hours. But trust me, this is one of those games where the experience matters way more than the completion percentage. And finally, I wanted to include something a little different to all the others, because not every game without a platinum needs to be some sort of emotional indie masterpiece. Sometimes you just want to chill out, listen to music, sink a few hours into something just relaxing. And that's where Hustle Kings come in. This is basically PlayStation's love letter to pool. Honestly, for an older game, the physics still hold up surprisingly well, and you can still find online lobbies. The whole atmosphere is just incredibly relaxing, smooth music, clean presentation. It's one of those games you load up thinking you're going to play for 20 minutes and suddenly you realize it's been a couple of hours. But what makes Hustle Kings really addictive from a trophy hunter perspective is the skill ceiling. At first, it's pretty straightforward. Then you're attempting ridiculous trick shots, trying to clear tables as quickly as possible, learning spin mechanics, bank shots, and slowly realizing there's way more depth to this game than you thought. And because the trophy list is skill-based rather than grind-based, every unlock feels a little bit more satisfying even without that platinum trophy. You're not collecting hundreds of random items or replaying boring missions over and over again. You're just getting better at the game and improving as a player, which honestly is kind of not the par for trophies, as we all know. I also think games like this are important palette cleansers for trophy hunters. After huge open world games or difficult grinds or Souls-like type games, sometimes you don't need another massive commitment. Sometimes you just need a fun game you can jump into for an hour, maybe get a couple of trophies and hop back out again. And that's exactly what Hustle Kings became, for me anyway. And there we have it, 5 amazing PlayStation games with no platinum trophy that I genuinely think every trophy hunter should experience at least once. These games honestly helped me get off the edge of that burnout and reminded me that sometimes good gaming experiences don't come with a shiny platinum reward at the end. So if you've got any favorite games without platinum trophies that more people should try, let me know down below in the comments, because I genuinely love to turn this into a series, and maybe your comments will make it into a part 2. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next ping.